Full woman groggily wakes up in a hotel bed, feeling a bit uncomfortable in her stomach. She looks down and, oh my gosh, there's a surgical scar on her belly. Could someone have taken her organs? Her name is Lucy. A few hours ago, her boyfriend tricked her into coming here. Now, a group of people drag her in front of the mob boss. Behind her, 3 men in the same situation are brought in. The boss has already prepared plane tickets for them. It turns out their stomachs have been forcibly filled with a blue substance, turning them into transport mules. Then, their heads are covered with black cloths and they're taken away. Lucy is held alone in a room. A thug, noticing her beauty, reaches into her clothes with bad intentions. Lucy forcefully slaps his hand away. The thug perversely licks his wound, then backhands her, knocking her down, and starts kicking her stomach. Another person stops him. Lucy lies on the ground, touches her wound, and sees it's bleeding. The packaging of the drug inside her stomach is damaged, and a large amount of blue substance spills out, quickly absorbed by her bloodstream. Her eyes start to change, her body convulses uncontrollably, and she's pulled to the wall, then the ceiling, and finally dragged into the air. Lucy clings tightly to a chain and eventually crashes into the wall. When she wakes up, a blue light flashes in her eyes, and she seems like a different person. Another man walks in, and Lucy seductively lures him. The man, with a sly grin, unbuckles his belt and approaches, but in the next second, Lucy grabs his gun and takes him down, calmly leaving the room and shooting down every thug, turning into a sharpshooter. Then she starts eating like crazy. After she's full, she realizes she's been shot too. Without blinking, she digs out the bullet, grabs a gun, and heads to a hospital. The Chinese text on the electronic screen automatically translates into English for her. Lucy bursts into the operating room, glances at the CT on the computer, and then turns to the patient undergoing surgery. She shoots the patient, casually pushes them off the bed, and says, "You don't understand him at all. The tumor has already spread to the brain cortex and the right side of the spine." Lucy lies on the operating table without anesthesia, letting the doctor perform surgery to remove the remaining half bag of drugs from her stomach. The doctor tells her that to survive, she must continue taking this drug. After the surgery, she leaves the hospital. She discovers she has gained another superpower, X-ray vision. Next, she plans to take revenge. Arriving at the hotel, she uses her X-ray vision to shoot through walls. She takes out all the henchmen inside. Meanwhile, the gang leader is still wearing headphones, enjoying a cucumber and the surface of a beautiful woman. Lucy calmly sits on the gang leader's lap and then stabs both of his hands with 2 knives. She then presses his forehead with her hand, instantly reading all his memories. She finds out where the remaining drug packages are. Lucy then goes to a friend's house and opens a computer. In an instant, she reads hundreds of brain science papers and finds the most authoritative expert, Professor Norman. She uses her superpower to appear on the professor's TV, telling him about her situation, saying she is losing human emotions. Feeling that she doesn't have much time left, she arranges to meet the professor in 12 hours and then heads to the airport. But now the police are everywhere looking for her. With a flick of her head, her short blonde hair instantly turns into long black hair, and she puts on sunglasses, looking very cool. At the airport, Lucy calls Officer Del Rio, telling him the whereabouts of the other 3 human couriers, asking him to arrest them and retrieve the drugs for her. After hanging up, Lucy boards a plane to Paris, takes a sip of champagne, and her tooth falls into the glass. She coughs twice, and several more teeth fall out. Then her skin starts peeling, and in an instant, she turns to dust, scaring the man next to her unconscious. She quickly runs to the bathroom, only to find her entire body disappearing, her features starting to distort. She hurriedly takes out the blue drug and desperately stuffs it into her mouth. A massive energy surges from within her, followed by a huge explosion. But when she wakes up, she's already lying in a hospital, her body fully reassembled. She gets up, walks to the corridor, and with a gentle wave of her hand, a group of police officers instantly fall to the ground. With just a glance, all the bullets in Del Rio's gun fall out. Del Rio stands there, not daring to move. From the surveillance, it's seen that Del Rio follows Lucy out. Lucy and Del Rio sped through the streets. They finally arrived at the hospital safely. When she went upstairs, she found that the other party was about to get the last drug. The leader's henchman tried to escape but was stopped by an invisible wall. With a glance from Lucy, the weapons in the henchman's hands were all sucked up to the ceiling. The henchmen continued to swing their fists, but they couldn't touch Lucy at all. Lucy calmly walked over, took the box from the henchman's hand, and manually extracted the remaining packet of drugs from the man's stomach. With all the drugs, Lucy went to the university, found the professor, and explained her physical condition. Her body can now change at will without any pain. She can comprehend all the knowledge of the universe. Then, she asked the professors to inject all the remaining drugs into her body for the final upgrade. Outside, the gangsters didn't give up. They stormed into the school with guns. Del Rio and the police protected Lucy outside the lab. Both sides engaged in a desperate fight. While inside the lab, Lucy successfully absorbed all the drugs. Lucy's hand extended a black substance, connecting to the computers in the room, engulfing various experimental instruments and absorbing their energy. Everything in the room disappeared, and a brand new, tall computer appeared. At this moment, the gang leader burst into the lab. As he stepped closer to Lucy, her entire body began to turn black. Just as the gang leader was about to shoot, Lucy vanished into thin air. The gang leader was at a loss, and everyone else was equally stunned. Taking advantage of the situation, Del Rio immediately took down the gang leader. Meanwhile, the giant computer in the room started to move, slowly extending a USB drive that contained all the knowledge about humanity. Lucy successfully completed the mission of inheritance. But where did Lucy go? At this moment, Del Rio received a message that read, I am everywhere.